Hello everybody, my name is Hellkaiser and welcome back to Rygar. This isn't the Battle of Atlas. I keep getting the names confused. There we go. And at least the game loads fast. We kind of got lost in the end of the last episode. How do I pull up my map? See, we are the red flashing dot there. And there's a lot of locked doors, but there's a lot of... We're not really shown where we're supposed to go. So, at this point, it's just a matter of can I find the right place before we die of old age. I didn't really have the best impression of this game after the first hour we played of it. Maybe something can change this time, but I hate to sound so negative, but I don't think I'm going to enjoy this as much as I did our Devil May Cry playthroughs or anything else. It's not that it's particularly a bad game, it's one of those games that you can sum up very easily with a sentence, all. It's not where I'm supposed to go. I mean, it is, but it's sealed. I guess I need to put something in those to unseal it. But I have no idea where the bloody heck I'm supposed to go. The camera angles make things a little bit more difficult to be able to see where I'm going than what is, in my opinion, necessary. The jumping kind of has a delay to it, therefore making everything feel a little bit off as well. It's needlessly complicated, I guess, to be a way of describing this game. I got nectar. My life was restored. Okay, there's a dude up there with a Aegis shield like I have. Okay, shield up. It'd be nice if I could see him. Stand up, coward. It'd be nice if I had like a shield breaker. Okay, does my shield still... You know, I hate it when they make enemies that can control the pace of battle. To take a line from Ego Raptor back when he's talking about Ocarina of Time, whenever the enemies can block and you're waiting for an opening, that's not exactly the fun game design. You want to always feel like you are the one controlling the pace of battle. You never want to feel like the game is making you go purposefully slow just to torture you, essentially. And this game kind of has that feel. Some of the enemies just feel so weak, I feel like I'm on autopilot. I hit the A button, which I forgot to change the bindings over. Anyway, okay, there's a lot of enemies up there. Maybe I can get up there. I hit the A button a couple of times. They fall over dead. And then there's some enemies where they just throw up a shield, and I'm just sitting there waiting for them to attack me so that I can get an opening in. Okay. Who needs a yellow thing? Okay, that guy just fell down there. Can I not jump on these? Yes, I can. I'm not going to chase after that one bad guy. If he wants to find his way up there, he can. It is sealed. Okay, man, could the camera angles just stay in place? See, everything dies in 2 hits, so what's the point of having this many combos? Maybe they added a few more combos in this version, but they feel so unnecessary, especially when you factor in the idea that most of every enemy dies in 2 hits. Those other guys with a shield, they die in, how many hits do they die in? Roughly, 10 hits, maybe, at the most, and they're just a waiting game. So, realistically, nothing requires a combo. This basic 3-hitter combo, or 4-hitter combo, I'm sorry, can kill everything, including the bosses, without fault. So why would you ever use a different combo? Also, it feels kind of silly that I feel like I'm having to smash up everything in the environment to earn points, and I can't even spend these points yet, so I don't really understand why I should keep doing it. It is kind of cool that the environments are like semi-destructible, I guess is what you call it. It's not really the environment's destructible, it's certain objects are destructible. Now, at least that time, he's actually pointed it at what I think is the door that, yeah. So I found a place I can go, hallelujah. Elysian Shrine, rear entrance. I got a map for this one, so it's like a dungeon crawler almost. Which is an interesting design, because like Devil May Cry went for a more gothic castle design. You know, it was originally supposed to be Resident Evil 4. You know, I mentioned that when we played that game. But for anybody who didn't know, it was supposed to be Resident Evil 4. And I believe Shinji Mikami was still... He wasn't, like, in charge of the project, but he was in a supervisor role. And he said that it wasn't really the Resident Evil brand. Okay, that's the first enemy we've encountered so far that's given us mild resistance. But it was so good, it didn't deserve to be forgotten. And he's the guy that ended up convincing Capcom to shell out the cash and make it into a real game. Which, you gotta give the man credit. He saw a talented game team and a very ambitious title, and you know, he stood up for it, which is something a lot of game developers I don't know would do, you know. It's a shame that, I'm sorry, I'm never going to be able to say his name right. I think his name is something Miyamoto. The guy who created Devil May Cry didn't get to work on the sequel. While I think that Devil May Cry 3 was a great version of the story that we probably wouldn't have got if he had continued, because if you've heard in any of his interviews, originally his idea was to make Trish and Dante married, and they were going to be, instead of, it was going to be kind of similar too. It was going to be like a split story with Trish being one of the playable characters and Dante being the other playable character. Which I honestly think sounds like a cool idea. I know some people think because it's like an Oedipus complex that he shouldn't be with Trish, but I mean, it's a Japanese game. There's a lot of underage-looking women running around. You know, I'm pretty sure a guy with an Oedipus complex is the least, you know, major concern out of a lot of that. Down you go. Power increase. Okay, so there's nothing else in here. Like, this game's got some potential. It looks like it's got reflections, and it's not the prettiest game in the world. Remember, this is on the Wii, so it's had like a minor, I would have to say, graphics increase. But it's still not exactly the most gorgeous game ever. And when this game first came out in 2001, you know, by the time the end of the PS2 life cycle, there was much prettier games. If you've ever seen Ghost Hunter, which we will get to eventually on the channel, that game was freaking gorgeous. It was really pushing the limits of the PS2 system. I dare to say it looked better than a majority of the early PS3 titles. And, you know, so there was things that could be done to make some of those PS2 games look good. Unfortunately, I got a Cicadas. What does that do for me? After death, life and eco is restored. Okay, so it's like a gold orb. So another thing they kind of took from DMC. Well, I didn't get to keep my combo up there. At least I'm trying to get a combo up here. It's just your combo meter drains so quickly. Okay, what is my thing? I got 8 attack and 9 defense and a couple of health ups. I feel like I'm progressing, but I feel like I'm kind of... Everything's involuntary, if that makes sense, too, which is a weird effect. to give the game. Okay, so that's just that place I was, so I'm supposed to head back up a floor. Realistically, with this game, that was my point when I talk about like Devil May Cry and stuff. This game came... The only thing that you can really point at this game and say it did interesting was that it predates God of War. Not just by like a year or two, but by a good 3 years, you know? And I don't know how long Devil May Cry... God of War's development cycle was, but if it hadn't like started for another year or two until after this game had come out, you know, that's impressive how much DNA is actually here. Okay, there we go. Now that worked. He kind of runs at full tilt. If you remember, the Wii didn't really have like a dead zone area and stuff like the GameCube did. So it was a lot harder, crikey, to slow your character down. The thing is, even when I do like a different combo, none of my combos feel like they're dealing more damage than another combo. That's another thing. Why would I use any other combo when they all do the exact same damage? Like, okay, so see, the Divine Armor increased my life, but then shields increase my life. There's a lot of things that's very difficult to understand exactly. I need a special power to push the block. Okay, that's what I saw when we first was in the main hub area. Ow. See, this camera angle is not... because it looks like the enemies kind of dropped in from above me, but I can't really tell where everything is because of some of that design choice. Okay, you're a different color guy. Ow. Wow, you do some damage. Okay, I can't crawl between your legs. Okay, that thing's got some ridiculous swing. Okay, take these guys out first, because they're the problem children here. No. See what I mean? Good lord. Okay, now it seems like a sudden difficulty spike, because a couple of these monsters just... okay, they're going to endlessly spawn until I take this guy out, ain't they? But he seems immortal, almost. How do I kill him? Okay, he died. With a little bit of my life left. I got my... okay, that instantly restored. So the one time I faced the challenge, it instantly rewarded me by giving me most of my health back. That's not exactly a good way to encourage difficulty. Okay, another one of these guys. I hate these guys, because all I do is just stand here while they do whatever that little dash move is supposed to be, and then wait for that opening. And then wait for him to get up. He does that, whatever that is. And then he's dead for good. 4 hits. Or 8 hits, but you know, it's just the basic 4-hit combo twice is all it takes to finish him off. This just feels like an endless battle arena fighting the same thing over and over. Like, this is with extra enemies. I don't know exactly how many enemies they added. It doesn't say in these reviews. I even found an old Nintendo Life review in Reddit last night after finishing recording this. Like they said, yeah, there's some new stuff in here, but it's not worth really the okay, what does Ambrosia do? Cures health completely. Golden apples of the gods. That's more like a drink of the god. The golden apple is what Eris, or some of you might know her by the Roman belief, Discordia, threw to, you know, into the, that said the fairest of them all, and started Athena and Hera and Aphrodite arguing over which one of them was the most beautiful, the one who deserved the golden apple. this is very similar to God of War with the fact like a lot of things are off. Like the Golden Fleece, and I think it was God of War 3 was like a shield or something like that. Like this guy looks like he could have came out of Devil May Cry or any other generic thing. Castlevania, Icarus. He's supposed to be Icarus, but Icarus's wings weren't real. They were man-made. They were made of wax. That's why when he got too close to the sun, it failed him. This is another guy who can dictate the speed of battle. So I wait for him to attack me. Gotta get that off them. Okay, wait. So I just can get a couple of good hits in after he attacks, when that red aura goes away. What did that do for him?
Battle is over. Where is Princess Harmonia?
He didn't even get half of his health taken away.
Your eyes cannot see the truth, and your tongue is only good for making a false show of power. I do not think you are the lion of a man that Kronos talked about. Away with you now.
Okay, where did Cerberus come from?
Cerberus, the holy beast lodging in a disc armor. Do you agree that this man has the caliber of a lion? So does everything go according to the prophecy of Kronos?
Was that the guard dog of Hades? No, it was not. It was the Fang that rages against injustice. Fang of Rage, fight with me!
What? Okay. Let me make something clear. Hades is the god of the underworld. Cerberus is not necessarily Hades' companion, but he's the guard dog of the underworld. He keeps the souls from escaping. He's not a Fang of justice, as our buddy here is trying to say, Rygar. You know, it started off fine, like, okay, he's got the power of Cerberus. What's wrong with that? You know, that's Devil May Cry 3, which, again, this came out first. But, you know, good lord, a lot of it, the dialogue is so cheesy. It feels like somebody's doing a parody of Conan the Barbarian or Xena the Warrior Princess or something. You know what I mean? It just doesn't, it feels off-putting. And they showed Cerberus, but now they're saying Hades. So why not just had it been Hades came to his rescue? So I can clear certain ones with different flames or something now? I didn't mean to just go straight in here.
This is the much talked about mausoleum of the three warriors. The statue of the first queen of Argus, the warrior of the sea, Argo. The statue of the warrior of heaven, and the statue of the warrior of Hades.
What?
What's that?
Okay, he said that in a way that it makes... I don't understand what's the importance. Who are you supposed to be? Now that looks more like a demonic version of Icarus right there because of the wings not looking right. Sphinx. But the Sphinx was not the right... Okay, man, that shield is a good shield. It can absorb everything. Look how much damage I do. Okay, how do I use... I can strengthen with points now. Long, straight attack. I have... Okay. Okay. Do I have a different... Summon Cerberus. What's C stand for? Okay, maybe they mean like the C button, so C and B. Okay, that works. So I can some... Don't tell me that did no Yeah, that did no damage because he's up there. Yeah, it would help if I had like a proper dodge. Like that to me doesn't seem to work because I can't roll in the direction I want to roll, and then these camera good, I can't move because of the camera angle. Okay, let's try this again. So I can use that as an invincibility frame too. Is that really all the damage? Oh no, it does more damage. I was about to say, I do more damage with my basic combo than that. Yeah. Okay. My health is really low, and the camera angles are not working for me. Okay, I survived, I guess, because that means I ate up the, yeah. Just keep doing this. I wouldn't call this necessarily a difficulty spike as much as a bad camera angle and some bad controls. Of course. So what is this now? Like I hit the right one? Cerberus! Did that count as two? Because I don't know how many like chunks it does. That does less damage, I'm convinced, than my one-hit combo. Or basic combo. I keep saying it wrong, I apologize. So we fought 2 boss battles back to back, at least. That seems kind of odd pacing to have a boss fight.
Something is written on the stone tablet.
And then another boss fight.
The War of Kronos. 3 legendary
It's Cronus.
warriors defeated Kronos, the god of darkness. And Argo.
He's
one
not
of
a
his
god.
warriors, established the dynasty of Argus. I thought it was but a fairy tale.
That is a fairy tale. Why do those look like unknowns, too, from Pokemon?
The tragedies began. Once we, the 3 warriors, banished Kronos into the darkness. And this time, the true purpose of the Titans is probably to revive Kronos, who was banished by the Disarmers.
Is this another boss fight?
We must stop the Titans from getting control of the Disarmer. But please hurry. The last remaining Disarmer is at the Poseidonia Shrine.
Why not just say the Shrine of the Sea God Poseidon? Control pad left and right. So what do these different ones do for me? Do I have like a move list here? Let me just do it this way. Okay, yes. So it is actually different. So you get a 3-hit heavy combo on B now instead of A. Okay, I don't think I like that one as much. I can upgrade it. So it's more for like hitting multiple enemies. I'm going to try to just go ahead and upgrade my Hades disc armor when I get some extra money. So you have like different Okay, let me just say a couple of things first off. Number one, they literally talked about the Titans throughout this whole thing. The Titans. But then they called Kronos a god of darkness. You can't have him be a god and have him be a Titan. Have him be the Titan or have him be... I know that's a little bit of a nitpick, but like I said, as a person who loves Greek mythology, seeing it just get ripped a new one is ridiculous. It's fine to take artistic liberal license. Percy Jackson, The Olympians, I actually really liked that series. I read it as a kid and I watched the movies. It took, in my opinion, a very good liberal license. It took the idea of Greek mythology and it put it into a modern setting because, like I said, the gods were always promiscuous, them having children all the way up to the modern era. Yeah, that's very believable. You know, I thought that was a really fantastic idea, and to me, you know, you can take different twists of mythology and use them, and it works very well. As a writer myself, I incorporate a lot of Greek mythology and stuff because that's just one of my passions. But to me, this just seems like a thing where there's very little planning. It's like they Googled some of this stuff, and then they just said, yeah, okay, Kronos, okay, Battle of Gods and Titans, okay, and then they just looked at some names of some major figures, or maybe rented a book from the library, and just looked at the chapter titles, and wrote the names down. You know, not a big complaint, but a complaint nonetheless. And then, you start me off with a shield, okay, you upgrade my shield, okay. But instead of giving me like a second weapon, like I pick up holy swords and stuff like that, you're just giving me a second shield that has a different thing. Make it a whip, make it a sword, make it a spear. You're supposed to be in Greek mythology. Hoplites used, you know, like shields and spears and short swords, and you know, there's a lot of things you could do with Greek mythology. Tridents would be awesome, you know, like Poseidon's trident. Zeus's lightning bolt, you know, Athena's spear, you know, anything like that. Ares' spear, Ares' sword, Ares' shield. You know, there's a lot of things you could do, but you mean to tell me the only weapon I got is a shield, and I got different shields, and they're not even called shields, they're called disc armors. Yeah, it's like they didn't want to put a lot of effort in, so they decided, okay, we're going to use different combos, but instead of just making those different combos all of one weapon, we're going to have the same weapon, just copy-pasted with a different color. You know, to me, that's lazy. There's a lot more you could do. If you want to see a game, you know, some people give the Castlevania Lord of Shadows series some problems, and so do I. I don't like how it messed with the timeline. But, like, Gabriel's weapons were fantastic. You get a sword, you get claws, you get a whip, and it's all used very effectively. You know, every weapon in his arsenal is utilized. And he still has a limited arsenal, but it's used well. And in this game, you could do that. In Dante's Inferno, fantastic game that was underrated, by the way. Maybe we'll get a hold of it at some point. You use a scythe throughout the entire game, a scythe and a cross. And it works because there was effort put into those weapons. You don't have to have a lot of weapons, you just have to have systems in place. Like, to me, if I was the one designing this, I would have had it be all like one shield and different summons, like I could pop into the shield and maybe it has like a different effect. So the Hades shield has like hellfire, even though the underworld in Greek mythology doesn't have hellfire, you know, but a lot of people seem to use that, and you get an artistic license, okay. And then like the Poseidon shield does water damage, and then the Zeus shield, you know, uses lightning damage, something like that. But it's like a slot, like Final Fantasy, like summons, and you know, you can still do the Cerberus thing. And then maybe for Zeus, because his sister wife, Hera, her protector was Argus, you could call down Argus. And then for Poseidon, you know, you could use the Kraken. You know, there's things you can do with that kind of license. But to me, I think they could have had different weapons. For Ratha, you know, the spear, different types of things here and there, and that's just a complaint I'm having with this game, is lack of variety. It gets boring really quickly. Just think, I got 2 different shields and that's it. And what exactly is the divine shield supposed to be? Or heavenly? You know, they just say it's like a shield of Athena if you're going to name one after Hades. Am I supposed to like interact with these? I don't think so. Do I have a summon, by the way, for the other? Tauros. Okay. So I got Tauros and I've got Cerberus. So at least the summon idea is there and it's cool, but again, I think it's not utilized correctly. Is this another boss fight? Okay, he's cursed all the pillars or something. This is another boss fight. The Sphinx again. Oh crap. He's like he's not invulnerable. My problem is I don't know when he's going to attack. And I can't dodge that, so I just gotta jump over it. Whoa, I don't know how I managed to dodge that. It'd be nice if there was like a frickin' lock-on or something. At least there's life restorers here. Tear him up, boy. Dang. The one good thing about the summons is you get to get an extra hit in, or at least it looks like you get to have an extra hit come in. I didn't dodge that in time. I was trying my hardest there. Ow. Jump! The delay on his jump is so bad. And now I'm just getting juggled. I can't even get up. Look at that. I can't even get up. I'd like to meet the guy who designed these boss fights. You can tell that they were thinking, well, our game is short and we don't have much enemy variety, so we're going to do our best to stretch out some of this crap. Yow. Got him. I don't get what a Sphinx has to do with Greek mythology. That's Egyptian mythology. And I get that on the map, this Argus place is supposed to be like close to Egypt. And if you want to do a mixture of mythologies, that's fine. I think that's a very interesting idea that very few games have ever done, aside from God of War. But you got to do it, you know. You got to do it in proper ways. You got to explain it. Like, okay, you know, this is a country that prays to both the Greek gods and the Egyptian gods. Maybe have statues of Set in one place and statues of Zeus in another. Okay. So, this is just that main area I started at. I still have no extra points. So I have no idea what exactly is progress and what isn't progress. I don't know what these like floating yellow barb things are, or these purple ones. I don't know if that's something I can like jump across, or if it's some sort of power I need. The game is not really doing a good job of describing this kind of stuff to me. And see, that other one's so slow, I'd rather do single target damage because it phases through than not be able to hit my enemies and let them blow a hole in me. It does seem to do more damage, though, to be fair. But it's so slow. I got pneumonia, or pneumia, I don't. There we go. Target's destroyed. At least I got some different moves now. I'll give myself credit there, but the thing is, you don't really need the extra moves, and so that kind of puts a damper on the whole, look, I got a new moveset, because everything dies in the same number of hits, realistically. Again, I know I'm sounding critical, and I want to be fair and just put it out there. This game came out in 2001 originally. Even though this is a 2008 remaster, you know, it's a remaster. Okay, so I am supposed to move forward now. Problems that were there in the beginning probably still persist. Oh, hello. I can't even see them now. You gotta be kidding me. How did he recover that quickly? Okay, come on, big boy, it's your turn. See, that's so slow, he can dodge through that. So I restore mana, I'm just going to call it, just naturally through fighting. That's good to know. Okay. I don't know how quickly I earn some build-up points, but I'll check it periodically and then try to level up the Hades one, because that's my primary means of getting around. It is sealed. Heavenly disc armor. It is sealed. Heavenly disc armor resonates within it. What is it? Oh. I'm supposed to use, like, the heavenly fire? That's kind of, again, another thing that seems to slow you down. Like, how am I supposed to get back up there? I guess I figure that out here. Because the game has done nothing to show me that yet. I'm at the Poseidon Shrine, or Poseidon. I don't know how to say it like that. I've never heard anyone pronounce it that way. Man, impressive camera angles. It's hard to tell, like, what's supposed to be part of the environment and what's something I'm supposed to smash up. And then sometimes there's stuff there, other times there isn't. Which, again, makes me wonder why I'd bother smashing everything up. Okay, this is called World 3, so we're only on the 3rd level. How many worlds are there exactly? Okay, new enemy type. I like how they kind of look a bit like seahorses. Okay, they can freeze me in place. Yeah. Camera. Get up. What's the point of a weapon that's so slow that most of the enemies that actually have any form of offensive capability can hit you before you can hit them? Can the camera... Okay, I guess I need some sort of water one to be able to get over there. I like the design. I like the gold and the women pouring water. I think it's, you know, trying to have some form of presentation. I like the mermaids there and like the weird dragon-looking sea horses. There is some effort to make something that looks presentable. However, it just comes off a little bit strange. Like, there's a lack of direction, and then there's a strangeness to the enemy design. Kind of gives everything a ethereal feel that isn't right. You know, it's not like a good feeling, it's a bad feeling. Okay, enemies are back. I do like that. It's a shame it just doesn't work like I wanted it to. See, he swings, but his swings are almost like somebody who's drunk. He just aims and fires, but he doesn't... There's no lock-on, there's no indicator. So I could be swinging at the air. And it's a rather annoying concept. Okay, so what does this do for me? Okay, I unlocked a door in that room. Yippee for me. And, of course, the enemies are back. And see, I have no dodge button, so how am I supposed to dodge these things? And then they change attacks there. It's kind of annoying. And I consider myself to be a fairly patient person. But even I have a limit to what I consider to be patient. And this game pushes that. The voice acting is atrocious. Now, I don't generally believe in changing a lot of original voice acting unless it's one of those things where it's just aged kind of poorly, or it wasn't very good to begin with. Like some Japanese games have very bad English dubs, and they're not always on a what you call so bad it's good level. Sometimes changing it is, you know, the best thing you can do, or updating the dialogue. But sometimes, you know, I don't know what this game's original dialogue was. If this was the original, they really should have put some new actors in the part. Okay, that's just a reskin of those ghost enemies. With shells on their arms. It'd be nice if I could see where I was going. The legend is dead. And it respawns me at my last save. And those guys are back. Nope. Okay. Moving on. It's a good thing this game's less than 8 hours long, because I don't think I'd have the patience to set through too many more of these. I'd like to know what these buttons do. If it's something I'm supposed to be doing, or if it's some sort of power I'm supposed to acquire at some point. And I wish for the... Well, at least he hit him that time. The camera is getting on my nerves too, because it's so tight on him in places, and then it just shifts. And it doesn't shift where you would like want it to, it just shifts. Making the whole thing have like a clumsy feel to it. Which again, 2001, I understand, but Devil May Cry had better camera angles, and it was 2001. So did Onimusha, which came out before Devil May Cry. So you can't just say, well, it was one of the first. Realistically, after the PS1 era, you cannot sit around and say, well, this game came first, and that's why it's the way it is. I'm pretty sure we had a pretty good understanding of cameras and stuff by that time. You look at stuff like Mario 64, it wasn't the greatest, but it was set the standard. You look at stuff like Bubsy 3D, that was where it went wrong. Of course, I'm trapped. Can I... It's dusting up, so does that mean I'm doing damage? Yes, it does. Just keep hitting. I wonder if this would be better. Ooh. Just whack at it. This thing does more damage too, apparently. Go, go, go. Okay, ooh. So now what? Am I supposed to drain the water? What is these like arrows and eyes or whatever they're supposed to be? What is their purpose? I don't understand. Okay, is this a reskin of the... yes, it is. So, they added new enemies, but realistically, they are reskins of existing enemies. This one's just female, or at least as far as I can tell, it's female. Okay, I only did a level 1 version that time. I didn't double tap quick enough. Yeah, that one is clearly female. I got a holy sword, so my attack power is increased once more. Okay, they changed this from unicorns to like serpent heads. So, I mean, there is an effort to at least make things look a little different, but realistically, you can't say it's new enemies if all you've done is put a copy-paste enemy design and just put a new texture. That just means you've reskinned enemies. That doesn't mean that you have remade enemies or you have improved upon some more worse-off qualities. You know, people seem to not be able to understand that enemies that are just color-coded reskins, you know, that doesn't change people's opinion of a game. You know, people like to see variety, or at least I'm speaking for myself here. To me, for something to be different, something has to be different. You can have enemies that function the same, but you need to have enemies that aren't the exact same. For example, maybe that one would have a different variety of movesets, or maybe require, you know, different things to manipulate them. Okay, I think I'm going to need... Okay, I'm supposed to come back here when I have something different. At least to my knowledge. I'm telling you, trying to control this game too is kind of difficult. He kind of moves at this weird angle. Like, it's hard to describe. It just doesn't feel right. Okay, why is the door all upside down? The moon room. Okay, I guess that means I gotta fall down. That didn't sound good. What just hit me? Okay, heads off. Heads off. Sorry, little seahorses. Since when do they have a rolling attack? Okay, anything I can do, like, up here? Be nice if, like, the camera would change so I could tell. You know, Prince of Persia came out a couple years after this, too, and, you know, they had, like, a fixed camera and a third-person camera, but you know how they managed to work them together? Because they were interchangeable, and you had a first-person camera.
Princess Harmonia?
I was once called the Sea Warrior Argo. I am here to support you.
Why not have Poseidon?
Elder of Argos. Now I understand. The voice that has led me here was yours. If that is so, please lead me to the princess.
She literally is a recolor of the princess, though. She's got white hair instead of blonde
I
hair.
am only a mere warrior, but wish to give her peace of mind.
Inside this place.
Literally same dress, too.
She must be there.
Is everything a reskin in this game?
This is Siren. Take my disarmor with you, and hurry to Harmonia.
Okay, I'm sorry to keep ranting, but you send me to a place that's supposed to be like the Palace of Poseidon, and you don't even call this... You call one the Hades Shield, and one the Divine Shield, and I guess some people see Hades as hell, like the Bible refers to hell in some versions as Hades, but Hades was a god, you know, it wasn't a place in Greek mythology. I think they're confusing that. Why wouldn't they have Poseidon be the one? It's not that difficult. They can't say it was because, oh, they were afraid they were ripping off God of War. God of War didn't come out yet, so they could have used Poseidon all they wanted. And I mean, it's not copyrighted. You can do it if you want. Why would they say, okay, there's a war of gods and titans. The titans are coming back and they're going to destroy everything, and then not really have titans or gods in the game? You know, it's like the story was an afterthought and they just tacked it together. Okay, so what is your moveset, Siren? Short distance fast attack is its specialty. Oh, it's not even called the Siren Disc Armor, it's called the Sea Disc Armor. So I do have, like, realistically, see, I don't have that many combos with Hades. It's all like A, B, B, and A, 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 A. Here, it's actually, seems like there's some variety. So let's take a look at you. Yeah, I like that. It's very close range, but that's more my style. At least you know that nothing will go wrong. Also, how many points do I have now? I've only acquired 80 more. I could go ahead and strengthen it if I like it, but let's wait a minute. Okay, whoa. Whoa! Okay, man, I did some damage. Apparently I switched out, too. Dang. Power increased. Defense by Divine Shield. Oh yeah. Now that does some damage. If you're gonna make every weapon a shield, at least do like that. That other one was not really that good. Okay, I'm actually gonna upgrade that. I don't get what like the extra dots right there are supposed to be though. I really don't understand that. Move chart. Do I get like additional moves now? Not necessarily. Okay, hey, the Wii thing finally worked there. See, now that was me using the motion control. So it doesn't work on any of the others. Okay, let's try to look then, because it worked there. Swing the Wii remote repeatedly or just swing it. Okay. 1, 2, swing. Okay, it just doesn't work on that. Clearly. Okay, let's make sure I'm doing this combo right then. Okay, just A and swing repeatedly. Yeah, so it just doesn't work on some of the weapons. It's broken. They could just... So... I thought all this time, like, maybe my controller's thing just wasn't working right. No, it was working. Okay, it even works with that one. Because I'm swinging it there. So it just doesn't work with the Hades one. Okay, AAS. Okay, let's try the ABBS. Okay, that time it worked. Okay, so it does work. It's just, it doesn't work with some of the combos it says it works with. Sounds like that's about accurate. Don't know what I expected otherwise. Don't tell me I'm like stuck in here. I don't know where to go. Okay. Tower of the Moon. Maybe I can jump like up here. He can't quite reach that. Don't tell me I'm like stuck here because of something stupid. Oh yeah, now that does what I like. Just light damage, but insanely high combo capability. I still don't know like where the heck I'm supposed to go. Because there's nothing here. Maybe I'm supposed to... Are you serious? I'm supposed to jump up that. How was I supposed to know that? Because it doesn't show from the camera angle. I'm not trying to seem like purposely obtuse here. And so now I gotta go all the way back to the other room because there was something to do with the water shield there. And then I guess we're just gonna call it because we only got about 5 minutes left. At least this episode wasn't a bust. We've done 3 boss fights. Okay, the room is different. Okay, it's just showing me what I already knew there. Okay, big guy. I never made it to that statue thing either, though. And I can't, like, jump it. Oh, it's open now. Well, S-Fire, can the camera angles please work with me? You found Sound Chunk of the Future 4. What does it mean when it says something in the future has changed? Does it just, like, affect, like, a random enemy layout? Or is it an actual thing? What is it supposed to be? Because I don't understand it when something says something in the future has changed. That's a very ominous statement. That can mean a lot of things. Will you please turn around? He died quickly. Well, as does everything in this game. Yeah, this blue shield has become my favorite now. Sure, it's close range, but it's fun. You feel a combo meter going up. You feel like you have combos. I feel like I can actually wiggle my Wiimote stick and do something for a change. Is there any reason for me to be over here? What did I get? Mystic Stone Hephaestus. Or what is Mystic Stone? Oh, I can slot them. What is build up points gained by defeating enemies? Okay, so at least they know it's like a who Hephaestus is, but I mean, he's a god of smiths. I don't see what that... Like, it should be something more to do with, like, strengthening your equipment, like maybe plus strength or something would be how I would have done it. Did the flame go out? You... Okay. We're almost at the end of our time here, so hopefully we'll encounter a save zone after I'm done hopscotching up these stairs. You really think that they would just made them stairs, because it's kind of stupid to have to sit and watch your guy just jump up a bunch of stairs constantly. It's slow, you know, it's another thing that kind of feels like a time waster. It's slowing down your pace. Let's hope that those ghost thingies, they're here. So let's hope they don't hit me and ruin it. There we go. Okay, please let there be a save area. Okay, this is where I already was. So I've just got to do what I did before and climb up. After dealing with these guys. My word, can you please hit them? Why is there so many of them? I should have used the siren there to see what she does. I haven't used any of the others though. There. Now please flock off. Okay, we're gonna go about a minute over, I guess, here then. There we go. So what is that? I lost it. So I was just supposed to drop straight down. I thought it was... I still get what those, like, eyeballs then, or whatever they're supposed to be. I don't... markers, or whatever you wish to call them, are supposed to be there for. Like, I'm swinging the Wiimote, or using the stick, you know, to simulate the swing. But it isn't like, okay, he uses it to, like, latch on or anything. Maybe now I'll acquire because there's a lot of those things here. Cross the valley using hook target. Hook in the direction... Okay. Okay. So that's how it works. Okay, I got letter to the Sky City of Arcadia. Okay, we'll read that next time. Let's get jumping back up here real quick, and then we'll, I guess, drop down. And then we'll save and figure the rest out tomorrow. Only went about a minute over, that ain't bad. Probably about 2 minutes by the time we're done here. What do I get? Another scroll. Diary of Argo. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode now. Hope you guys are enjoying this series. Now that it's getting started proper, it's not as bad. It's got a lack of enemy variety, which I've talked about in my other issues with just the story. But at least now I've got some different weapons, and I've got some summons. And it seems like there actually is a little bit more to the game than just a 4-hit combo, 1-hit kill everything sort of deal. But it seems to me like we played for an hour on the first episode. It took, what, an hour and a half? A little over? No, because we just got this shield. About an hour and 45 minutes to start proper. And it feels like the pace just goes, you know, you want your first opening hours to be some like your best content, in my personal opinion, because that's what people will stay for. I mean, personally, in my opinion, if you can even out the whole thing, that works best, but if you can't do that, you go with what you got. Making your opening take that long and feel like you're not really doing everything, but then suddenly I fight 3 bosses back to back, is sort of a jarring thing. I get 3 shield upgrades back to back too. It just feels like, you know, like the pace just goes from 0 to 100, you know, in a matter of seconds. I've never really seen nothing like that before. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening.